Hello, everybody. Welcome to Newcastle Fans TV, where it is now 2 wins out of 18, and Newcastle are only 1 point above the relegation zone. Yes, good afternoon. Sounds strange just saying that on the last word. I'm normally doing this after midnight, but this is the last word. We've got a lot to get through in this afternoon's video. So coming up, we've got a new Manscaped offer, so we'll get that obviously read out, go through that, and then we'll discuss the game. We'll get on with it with the lineups discussed. We'll talk about the game. We've got Bruce's reaction, Carl's thoughts, and of course, we'll have a look on the league table because it's not great reading currently for Newcastle United at the moment, especially with Fulham winning this afternoon, which was a massive surprise. Or was it a surprise for some people? We'll obviously look at that and we'll talk more about it in depth. But yeah, let's get some offers for you with Manscaped before we talk about the game. Get prepared for St. Patrick's Day with Manscaped if you're going to get a little bit lucky. Manscaped is a global leader for below-the-waist grooming and the official sponsor of Newcastle Fans TV. To ensure you have the best tools for your family jewels, visit manscaped.com and use the code NFTV for 20% discount and free international shipping. You're in luck because the Manscaped Performance Package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Included in this new package is the Weed Whacker ear and nose trimmer, which is waterproof and uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual blade system. Look, guys, 79% of our partners polled admitted that long nose hair is a major turn-off. Why not use the best tools for the job here? This bundle comes with the Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer, the best trimmer on the market for your balls, butt, and body. The 3rd generation trimmer features a cutting-edge Simeratic blade to reduce grooming accidents. Thanks to their advanced skincare technology, you'll feel confident shaving thunder down under. You can also get festive and safely shave shamrock in your pubes. You and your partner will get lucky, all right? Their Lawnmower 3.0 will showcase your pot of gold like no other. Let's not forget their famous liquid formulations. The Crop Preserver, Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver, and Ball Toner to maximize your ball hygiene routine. Get the performance package now to receive the 2 free gifts, which are the Manscaped boxers. Nice. And not just that, you get the Shed travel bag as well. The performance package is the best that Manscaped have to offer, and it's hot off the shelves. Get 20% off and free international shipping using the code NFTV at manscaped.com. Also, every purchase at manscaped.com goes towards contributions made to the Testicular Cancer Society to bring awareness to testicular cancer, men's health, and early cancer detection. So, as I say, get 20% off and free shipping using the code NFTV at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code NFTV. There's gold at the end of the rainbow at Manscaped. There is indeed. So that was obviously filmed a little bit earlier. When we're all a bit positive, but just like Newcastle, the balls it up. We'll obviously take a look at the lineup. Let's have a look at what you're saying in the comments. Bruce has to go right now, says Jonathan Young. Thunder down under. Tangy likes that one. I hate Steve. Bruce says Nathan as well. Embarrassing what it is, Liam. My little brother keeps asking my dad whether we're actually from Newcastle as well. Bruce out. Eddie Howe makes perfect sense. We're going to get relegated. Smash that like button. Please do if you are watching. What we will begin with is obviously the lineups, of course, very shortly, as I say. And we'll talk about the game. We've got reaction from Steve Bruce and we've got Carl's reaction as well. Please keep your comments coming. They'll be appearing on the screen. And as ever, we are live. So thank you very much for opting to choose to watch Newcastle Fans TV this afternoon, all of our videos. But yeah, let's jump straight into it. Let's have a look at the opposition first of all. And you look at their threats, don't you? First of all, that's the first thing you look at. And you would think that Pereira's a great player. Matty Phillips on his day can be very tricky. Maitland-Niles. Gallagher, who I thought again was impressive today, the lad from on loan from Chelsea. And he was also impressive at St. James's Park. I thought the defence, we could have got at their defence a lot more, even before the game in the build-up show, I was saying that. And Johnston is the most tested goalkeeper so far this season. And you look at their defence and think, you've got like Wilson out, you've got Alan Saint-Maximin out, you've got Miguel Miron out, but this is the perfect opportunity for someone to come in and stake a claim in that squad, but nobody did. So disappointing. And as I say about Newcastle, let's have a look at Newcastle's lineup. This was it. It was the same formation to what we have been playing, but it was very lackluster from the tune of the day. Martin Dubravka, Emil Krath was back in. There was some doubt about his injury. Would he play? Would he not? Jamal Lascelles and Kieran Clark were the two centre-backs. Paul Dummett was back in at left-back. I thought he was all right today, Paul Dummett. Defensively, I didn't think anything got past him as much. So, except the part where he nutmegged himself in the first half. I don't know if you've seen that. Isaac Hayden, John Joe Shelvey. Again, Shelvey having a much more graft today. Willock in this kind of false number 9. They've got obviously Willock's position wrong there because obviously Willock was further up. Jeff Hendrick was in midfield. Ryan Fraser was out on wide. And Joe Litton was out on wide as well on the right-hand side. Joe Litton, to be honest, actually, except from the first part where he's running through on goal, I thought he actually done all right. Joe Litton holding the ball off a lot more strength. You can tell he's not right for Newcastle, but he's much better out wide than he is when he's got to have his back turned to goal and trying to hold it up and play in people. Seems to be much better out of the wide position, but it's still not at the level for me. And I've also got to question that lineup as why aren't you playing an out-and-out striker? I mean, you're desperate for a win and you're playing a midfielder up top who's never played up top in a professional game in his career. Bonkers, man. Just not our there, is he? Not our there, but I mean, please comment. We kick off and this is the chance where Joe Litton, and you've got to say Willock does brilliantly, by the way, because Willock nicks the ball off for West Brom plan and it's a great through ball and Joe Litton pace, power, and he's actually got a bit of pace because he outran O'Shea here. And then it was a chance, right, does he smash it or does he square it? Because Ryan Fraser is free. I think the intention is right, but the end product was awful because at the end of the day, he's either got to smash that, make the goalkeeper at least make a save, or he's actually got to find Fraser. He doesn't do Fraser, I can't even speak now. He doesn't even find the Scotsman. So you've got to look at it and think that's poor from Joe Litton. He's got to smash it or he's got to find his man. He didn't do either. And that could have put Newcastle 1-0 up. And we started all right. We started bright in that first half. And then it did die off pretty quick. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I think it was the Emil Kraft shot shortly after. Dubravka, was he really tested? Did he have a proper save to make? Obviously in the second half. Was it the first half? It might be the first half of the Digna header where he kind of palmed it wide. That was really it. It was a poor game. Let's not kid ourselves. It was a poor game of football. And it was to be expected. A lot of people saying it's T-Rex. It's the anti-ages. It's dinosaur football, the two managers. It was a pretty poor game of football. I'm not going to lie. But at the minute, we just need points on the board. As I touched upon Conor Gallagher there, whose picture being fouled by Isaac Hayden. For me, again, he was very impressive. He'll want to play first-team football next season, because 2 times he's now played Newcastle and he's been up there for me. He's one of the best players for the 2 fixtures that we have had. But going into half-time, I thought, you know what, it's still even. We can still go on and win this. And credit to Steve Bruce. It's the only credit I'm giving him, by the way. Is he made an early change. He brought off Hendrick and he put on Dwight Gale after about 52 minutes, roughly. Might have been a little bit later than that. But that was common sense. Look, we needed to win. He dropped Willock back at midfield who faded second half. Maybe because he had to be a little bit more disciplined. And then we had Dwight Gale, who, to be honest, didn't really have a kick. He would have wanted to do well at his former club. But the more the second half went on, the more West Brom were having more of the ball. Not really creating, as I say. They had a couple of snapshots that went over the bar. They should have scored in the second half when the ball was cut back. And who was it? It was a Matty Phillips. I might be wrong. I blazed over the bar from about 8 yards. That was their best chance. But Crafton all right against Matty Phillips. I think this is Kraft's level, to be honest. So this kind of team that's not being disrespectful to West Brom. I think West Brom are going down. I think it is them in Sheffield United are definite. And there's one of 4, which we'll come back to. But as I say, it was a very much a poor second half performance. Yeah, it was Matt Phillips. That's the graphic. I forgot to put it in the right position. But hey ho. But yeah, Phillips blazes it over. The defence scored pretty high in scoring the players a little bit earlier. That's no surprise there. Clark Lascelles done well. Kraft was all right. Dummett was good. Dubravka didn't really have a save. That tells a story when most of your marks are getting higher ends than what your attacking players are. But we definitely missed Miguel Miron. I think we missed Miguel Miron more than saint-maximin today, because saint-maximin is very, when he's on form, he's mint. But Miggy can just bring the ball from your left back position or your right back position, just get you 50 yards up the pitch, just by pace, knock the ball and run. I thought we missed Miguel Miron hugely going forward. Of course, don't get me wrong, we missed the SM as well. But I just think we missed Miron a lot more today. And yes, we're missing the goal scorer to kill him at the minute. We need goals. We've only scored 27 in the league all season from 27 games now. Granted, the positives are we kept a clean sheet. Woohoo! That's it. And that's the positive word. And with them, all eyes, well, of course, we're going to be looking at Fulham's result, which we were hoping Liverpool would get back to winning ways. That didn't happen. Fulham nick a 1-0 win. I mean, any team that Newcastle want to play is probably fucking Liverpool at the minute. And any team that Liverpool want to play, it'll be fucking us. I mean, we were only 1-2, man. 2 out of 18 games, man. Fucking hell. Is it too late to sack Steve Bruce? No, it's not. Never too late to sack an average manager, but the timing's not great. It's 11 games left, and history's told you. Look, it's in our own hands. That's the positive thing. That is the only positive, and we do have a game in hand, which we'll come back to with the league table. I'm just going to go through some of what your comments as well. Willock was one of the bright sparks, to be honest. I would agree. First half, Callum, not so much second half. I thought he dropped off. William says it's not a shock. Fulham won in Anfield. Fulham beating Liverpool, and we couldn't even beat West Brom. We couldn't even beat Sheffield United, man. And we got a point today, and we got a point against Fulham not so long ago. We can't even beat Brentford's reserves. We can't even beat Newport, man. We will join West Brom and Sheffield United. Liam's not very positive tonight. I'm not surprised Fulham won. Scotty Parker has his weaknesses, but he's passionate, and that rubs off on the players. A great point. They want to win for him. You can see the players are playing for Scott Parker, and Scott Parker is well liked by Newcastle fans for the time when he was at Newcastle. He's a bit like Rob Lee, wears his heart in his sleeve and grafts, tackles hard, tries to get forward. Likes to get on the ball, dictate how the play goes, where's he passing it. Very similar type of players. But he could be the one that relegates. Well, I say he could be the one that relegates. It's not going to be Scott Parker who relegates. It's Steve Bruce, effectively, who's going to relegate with Mike Ashley and what have you. But you get what I drift. It might come down to that final game of the season where it's a shootout between us and Fulham, and I can't fancy Newcastle in a minute. Strange at the last word is at 4 o'clock, says Martin. It is very strange. Yeah, I totally agree on that. We're going down, no doubt, says Harpel. Probably won't come back for a long time, unfortunately. Yeah. And I agreed, Miggy has been great this season. He buzzes around. At least it makes it look like something got happened. I just felt like with Miggy in the team, and I know you kind of doing that about with injuries. So look at Liverpool's defence, they're all over the place. Missing a goal scorer, Frankie says, totally agree as well. We are down, says Holly, who was on the fan reaction, sometimes pops on our videos now. No buts about it. And she was dead positive as well about the Rafa rumours as well. She's not going to thank us for saying that. Jody Sankester says we will stay up. I am worried. I still think that we'll do it, and I think it will be extremely tight. But I am worried. I'm a bit like Adam. I'm very, very worried about where we're at. I think Sam's admitted the first time today that he thinks they're going down as well. So not great. Bottom line, judges, when the 3 men have come back, that's my only hope. Me negative against that, Kenneth, is that you've seen the teams we're playing when those come back. That's why I feel these 4 games, we've had 2 now and 2 points. Yeah, we needed more and more points. We needed wins, and we've got Aston Villa, who are having a much better season than last season. You don't know what side they're going to turn up. They could rip us apart if Jack Grealish comes back on Friday night. And then we've got the big one, which is Brighton away, which we haven't won since that freak Mo Diarmi goal and Perez in the dying minutes. But we've got a couple of clips, of course. Mr. Steve Bruce up first.
Well, it certainly wasn't a classic, was it? That's for sure. But look, we could have. We're disappointed that we haven't come here and won, but we always knew it was going to be difficult considering the circumstances. So he'll take a point and move on. I couldn't fault the effort and their endeavour to make sure they got something out of the game. I think that was pretty evident for everybody to see. But at certain times we just lacked that little bit of quality in the final third, which unfortunately deserted us a little bit. You know, we had 1 or 2, 3 really good opportunities without making the pass. But overall, probably a draw was a fair result. Look, we've had a difficult week, and I don't want to regurgitate it for one moment. So the players have showed that they're on the same hymn sheet of everybody else. We're determined to make sure that we do our best in terms of staying in the Premier League, that's for sure. And you know, with the problems what we've had, not just in the week, but with all the big injury problems to the top end of the pitch, then I thought they did as well as what they could. As I said last year, John Joe, I think, was our top goal scorer with 6 goals. We have to find a way. We've got 11 games and we've been handicapped without our 3 most creative players that we've got. So we have to simply find a way, and the way their attitude was today was the reason why we got the point. We've got to do our utmost to make sure that we stay out the bottom 3. You know, with 10, 11 games to go in the position we're in, and then we have to do that. So, you know, it's not about performances, and we have to find a way, and I'm quietly confident we'll do it.
Yawa says that he's quietly confident. So he's just mentioned it's not about performances, it's about points. But just literally a couple of weeks ago, he said it was about performances, because the performances are there. If you remember him saying in post-match press conferences and interviews, he said the performances are there, the results will come. So he's contradicted himself yet again. Oh, fucking hell, man. He winds me up somewhat rotten. Honestly, man. Some of the stuff he says, at a point, we've got to do our utmost not to fall in the bottom 3. If you did your utmost, you would play a fucking striker up top first of all, Bruce. You wouldn't play a bastard midfielder. No offense to Joe Willock, he's a great midfielder, what have you. But you wouldn't play a midfielder in the fucking striker's position when you've got 2 bastard strikers sitting there on the fucking bench, and Dwight Gill and Andy Carroll. And speaking of Andy Carroll, fucking hell, Andy Carroll, what was the fucking point in bringing him on for fucking 30 seconds when the pressure was on us? We weren't giving the pressure on fucking West Brom. They were all on us. They had a couple of corners in the dying seconds. And he thinks, well, you know, I've got a 3rd substitution. Let's give Andy his match bonus so he can get paid this week. You won't be knocking on me door. And then he comes on for 30 fucking seconds and he gives a foul away. What is that all about, man? The Dwight Gale one, I agree with. It was early. It was the right decision. But you should have started with one of the strikers anyway. And then you wouldn't have had to make that substitution. Fuck off, man, Bruce. Fucking hell, man. Andy Carroll for 30 seconds, man. Happy with a point and move on. Is he thick or something? Look at the league table, man. Look where we are. Fulham winning today is a point behind us. The positive we've got a game in hand. Great. But we've got to get something from that game in hand. I'd rather have points than have a game in hand. Burnley are also in it as well. That's what I've got. I don't think Southampton are in it. So it's 1 of 4 teams for me. Fulham, Brighton, Newcastle or Burnley. One of those 4 are going down. I personally don't think it's Burnley. I think Burnley can nick a result off some of the big teams, just the way they play their football. So I think it's between Newcastle, Brighton and Fulham. At the moment, Fulham are going upwards and us and Brighton are going downwards. We cannot pick up any. Brighton cannot score. Newcastle cannot score. Brighton have only won 5 games all season, same as Fulham. But Brighton and our form is awful. We've only won 2 out of 18. Brighton play much better football than us. But that game, after obviously we'll play Villa, and that game, it could be the defining season. People talk about the Fulham one, but if Fulham start picking up points, we're going to have to win. Today was a must-win opportunity, and you could only think, right, if you took a point today, if Fulham got beat, that would have been all right. 4 points ahead of Fulham and a game in hand, that would have been okay. But because Fulham have won, it makes now that result at West Brom look shocking. We got beat off Sheffield United. We couldn't beat West Brom. We couldn't beat Fulham a couple of months ago with 10 men as well. It's alarming. Like, I'm very, very concerned. And he's not going to sack Bruce. He's just not. We all want that to happen because we're worried about our status in the Premier League. And is it too late to sack a manager? Because Rafa had 10 games. Rafa couldn't save her. Granted, when Rafa came in, we would have finished 9th if the season started when he has. But you need that momentum. You need your manager to put an impetus in. Fucking hell, man. It's just frustrating, man. None of the wins. And you've had the bust-ups all week from Matt Ritchie and Steve Bruce. You've had Joe Joyce step down in the youth academy. Steve Harper's no longer with Steve Bruce. Steve Harper's looking after the academy side of things because of the carry on with Sam Joyce, the son. And then you've got the takeover, the court ruling against the fella who's on the arbitration panel because he's worked with the Premier League. The club didn't want him on the panel. It's been a shit week for Newcastle off the pitch. And this results, I mean, there could have been a glimmer of hope today by picking up 3 points. Fuck me, we're missing Almiron, we're missing ASM, we're missing Wilson the most because he can get you goals even in the shit side. He's still managing to score goals, but I'm going to let off some steam. I'm going to let Carl have his reaction.
Thanks, Lee. Another frustrating result. Yeah, obviously we'll take the point all day long, but we should be looking for 3 points against West Brom, away or at home, especially in the form that they're in this season. Arguably the second worst team in the league, arguably the worst team in the league, to be fair, and we didn't look like beating them at all. We had chances in the first half that we didn't take again to put them under the cosh, and same old story. It's just getting really, really monotonous now. Villa up next. Massively tough game. Not a chance are we going to get 3 points from that. I'll be massively surprised if we do. They're looking to push for Europa League spots, and they're going to look at it as an easy 3 points for them. We need to be doing everything we can to start pulling away from this, because there's so many chances will be given by other sides to keep them in the relegation zone before we're in it. So Bruce has got to go. That decision needs to be made in the next couple of weeks. It won't be, we know. So what else can change? I don't know. It's frustrating. Just sick to the back teeth of it all. So yeah, I'm preparing for Championship life.
Carl's already preparing for Championship life. I mean, I'm still not yet, but I am massively worried where the result's going to come from, man. Villa next on Friday night. Brighton away is a massive one. Brighton win that. Fucking hell, man. Fucking hell. Can imagine if Brighton win that game. Fucking hell. It's alarming because nobody wants to go back doing the Championship football, especially with like the money restrictions and no money coming in from fans at the moment all over the club, and are still taking my money because I still don't have my money back from the club, which is another subject for another video from season tickets. But it's going to hit clubs getting relegated no matter which league you're in. If Newcastle go down, yes, you will probably have fans back where everyone had the COVID jabs and what have you. But Championship football, following the club around home and away, I mean, we'll probably still do it because we love the club. But Steve Bruce will probably be kept in the job because it's the Championship. We cannot win, can we? The only save, like I say, the only lift that I think that Newcastle fans would get would be to sack Steve Bruce with immediate effect. Surely the Lee Charnley and Mike Ashley are looking at it and thinking our investment here, because they're clearly the takeover. They feel with their statement that they put out the other night, go on the club's website and have a look at it. They clearly feel that the takeover can still go ahead. They're still fighting for it. I sound like Kevin Keegan there. We've got to go to the arbitration to win something. And I'll tell you, and I'll tell something now, we're still fighting for this takeover. Oh, frustrating as anything. The club still feel that it's happening. And surely Lee Charlie might actually look at it and think, this takeover's still on if this arbitration, if they win their appeal. And I mean, I'm not the one holding. I know some fans are holding on to that. I'm not personally. I think the takeover's gone. I think it's done now. I think it's gone for me. But if that it is, the club genuinely believe that there is hope, they've got to get rid of him and keep the investment, because the value of the club will just go all the way doing if we're playing Championship football. But that is it. That's a wrap. We've got a few things still coming up as ever on both of our channels, on NFTV Extra and Newcastle Fans TV. If you haven't seen all the videos, I mean, it feels weird. It's 25 and we're finishing, which is great. If you haven't seen all the videos, go back and check them out. And we've also got Football Manager on NFTV Extra. We've got the best of the fan clips getting coming up. We've got another influencer video. That's all before the preview, because obviously we'll play Friday night, remember, as well. If you can help us out, smash that like button. That'll be marvellous. We have been live since 11 o'clock this morning. Back to back, so nearly 6 hours. But yeah, I'm pissed off like yous. But see you later, everyone. Have a good weekend.